Hello and welcome back to Tube Talk, Albert.
Thank you, Sophie. Welcome back after our sojourn to Wellington last week.
Yes, and we've got Bruce in the studio with us today.
We have. We've got Bruce.
Hello.
Puyonti, our accountant, who's up from Wellington, helping us out.
Help us out.
It's the first time we've actually had a live audience.
Yeah, first time to have a live audience, so welcome on.
We'll see if you get nervous asking the questions.
Okay, so first up, last week we had Pinzana who ran second at, I'm going to try this, Oamaru.
The South Islanders will be horrified. Oamaru.
Did you say Oamaru? Okay.
Do you know Oamaru has, I think it's got the longest town in the country. You start driving through it and you get to the race course, and if you keep driving, you're driving 15 minutes later and you're still in the town. It's just like one long street goes on forever.
Yeah.
So, yes, now, she did, and we watched the race.
We did, we watched it from an alligator bike, as on Friday, me and Dad were in Wellington, and we went down to the waterfront, and we hired an alligator bike for half an hour, and Dad let me steer it. And we had to pull over and watch the race.
It was a reasonable workout, but I said, yeah, pull over watching Finzano on the phone. And she went well. She ran second, and Lisa Allpress rode her. She was handy. It was a slow track, which she loved. Unfortunately, there was a tearaway leader that went off by about 10 lengths, and everything had to chase, and nothing had a chance to relax. And at the 300, looked like she was going to run about fifth, but she just kept coming. And Lisa, who's leading the premiership, actually said if it had been a normal run race, she'd been able to relax and sprint, she would have won. She said she felt great. So she's come through the race well. She's going to race next on the 17th of June at Timaru. And then post that, we've got a couple of nice targets for her. There's a $25,000 race and a $20,000 race in July, both in July.
Nice one. And next up, we had North and South who ran 8th, and it was just looking for a gap.
Yeah, so we had a couple of runners on Saturday. Nota Bene, who was fresh up at Ellerslie, and she just got amongst runners and basically panicked. She hadn't been to the races for a year, but handled the track, and you'll see a much better performance from her next start if she's allowed to be on the lead or be outside the leader in the clear. So I would put a line through that, and I would follow her next start because she's been going well. North and South was still looking for a gap. It'll be Friday morning when this goes out, and she'll still be looking for a gap. She got back last, which is her style. Coming to the turn, Holly Andrew, who I think the horse ran well for, said, let's go to the outside fence, I can see a gap. And as soon as she got there, the horse was rolled out in front of her, and she had nowhere to go, and she tried to come inside, there was nowhere to go. If Holly had just waited another 50 metres and not gone to the outside, the gaps would have opened, she could have come through the middle. And when Holly got off her, she said, it was like I had a loaded gun. She said, I had so much horse underneath me, ready to go, and I had nowhere to go. She said she was very frustrated. So it was frustrating, but you get that sometimes, and she's going very well. So she'll now go to an open 1200 at Trentham on the 11th of June. It'll be a very wet track again. Robbie Hannon will be back on, who gets on well with her and has ridden her in most of her wins, and she'll be down on the minimum weight probably. So follow her.
There you go. Okay, this week we've got 4 horses, which Dad classified as a short week. I classify that as a medium-sized week for the amount I had to write down for it.
You're right.
Okay, first up, it's on, the words are not coming out, on Saturday. We've got Typer Tiger in the last race at Wanganui and Barrier 1, which would usually be pretty cool if it was summer, but it's not summer.
It's not summer.
It's winter and it's sludgy.
It's officially winter, and man, it's deep. So he's going good. He ran third last start out of his grade. Going back, he is a stayer, and he ran third over a mile, and we're going a mile again because the tracks are so wet. To step him straight up to 21 or 2200 metres we think would be a bit tough, so he's going a mile again. So probably the perfect race would be about 1800 metres. The problem with Barrier 1 on a wet track in the last race of the day is everything's getting to the outside fence because that's where the best going is. So he's going to need to get off the fence at some point and get out wide, which is hard from Barrier 1. But we've been jumping him this week. He loves jumping. Jonathan Riddell's gone and jumped him a couple of times, so he'll be fresh. He's going well. He looks great. He will be a nice each-way chance at good odds as long as he can get to the outside fence. If he's stuck down the inside and can't get out wide, he's in trouble.
There you go. Okay, and on Monday...
Did I say Massa Tanaka rides him again?
No.
Massa Tanaka rides him again.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm going to butcher this name on as well. On Monday at Tihira Nikau.
Tauhira Nikau.
You said Tihira.
Tauhira Nikau. Tihira Nikau.
Tihira Nikau. And the first race, we've got Petite Midas and Barrier 2.
Yes. Went really well fresh up for quite a while. Ran 5th behind Scarlet Secret and had a hard run last time out. Has improved for that. I think it was a better field last start than this start. 1200 metres would have been perfect, but there's the option to go 1000 or 1400. So we've decided to go 1000. I think she'll jump well. I think she'll be handy, and I think she's a very good each way chance. The track's a slow 9 at the moment with no ranger. I think it'll come back into dead range, which will suit her. I like her chances on Monday.
Awesome. And then also at Tihira Nikau on Monday, in the last race, in Barrier 17, we have Elusive Boxes.
Yeah, unlikely to run. Barrier 17, very difficult to win from out there. So if there's a raft of scratching for a runner, but if there's not, she'll be scratched. There's a nice race for her in about 2 weeks. Well, actually not 2 weeks' time. I think it's, the 6th, 7th, 8th, 15th? It's on the 15th at Wanganui, or might be the 16th at Wanganui. It's a pure bonus race. It's a $12,000 race with a $10,000 bonus. It's a fillies and mares 1,340 metres, so we're likely to wait for that for her. The dead track I think would be okay, but she's just from 17. She's going to be so far back. It's going to be near impossible to win. So she will be scratched unless there's a raft of scratching. Scratch unless there's a whole lot of horses pull out.
Okay, up the voice volume, please, Dad.
Sorry, I will up the voice volume.
You got a little bit quiet towards the end there. Okay. Also, sorry, I'm being a strict director. On Wednesday, we have got No Return running in Canterbury, Sydney.
Yes.
The racing 72, 1900 metres. And may I point out, I thought he was talking about Canterbury in New Zealand.
No.
And I understand it's not a place, it's like a region, but
So it's Canterbury is it's a region in Sydney, but it's the racetrack, Canterbury Park. So he won last start. He was very impressive. He goes to a slightly higher grade, but in actual fact, looking at the nominations, I don't think it's any stronger. In fact, I think it may be weaker. So the barrier draws aren't out yet. We don't know, but he's going well. As long as it's a reasonable track surface, he doesn't get good or just dead. I think he's very hard to beat again. If he relaxes beautifully, if he gets a gap, there were only 10 nominations at the time, looking at the fields. So he's got to be a very, very good bet. In fact, I would say he is our best bet for the coming week.
Nice one.
Even though the fields aren't out yet. So, yeah.
Okay. And then now we've finished up that,
Yes.
we are going to talk about Dad and Mum, and I think, is it Matt as well?
Matt.
And Stephen.
And
Stephen?
Marsh. And
Daniel?
Lisa.
Later.
And
Daniel?
No. Pat. Bonaccia.
I don't know who's going, I'm trying to take you
So.
there. Okay, yes, and they're going to the Magic Millions in the Gold Coast.
Yeah, so we're going. So myself, Matt, Mum's coming for a couple of days and then coming home.
I'm not coming though.
You're not coming. Lisa Latter, Stephen Marsh, Pat, we're all going over to the Magic Millions Gold Coast sale. We've been the last couple of years. We bought nice horses. It's the last yearling sale for the year, so there's no more yearlings to be bought to 2017. And there's some really good Australian size and female lines there. And we've found in the past you can buy nice horses at really good prices. So we're heading over. So there'll be no tube talk next week.
No, we will not.
Because we'll be over, and we've got a priority list going of people who would like to get first option of shares on the horses we buy. So if you are interested, drop me an email, albert@goracing.co.nz, and I'll put you on the list. And as we buy the horse, I'll let you know. We're probably going to buy 2, but possibly 3. But it is a very, very good value sale. You've got to do your homework, but it's a good value sale if you get around.
Nice one. And you will have to send us some pictures.
I will. Oh, and there's 2 other things I want to mention.
Mm-hmm.
One is the bet of the week.
Okay, bet of the week is?
And the other one, just quickly, is I spoke last Saturday at the Wellington Race Club to the members, and it was great.
Yes, you did.
Really, really good. Lovely people. Had a chat to them. Good breakfast. It was a really fun day. While you were out gallivanting with your cousin. And our bet of the week. My bet of the week
Wait,
is...
we got to do a drum roll.
There's the Castletown Stakes on Saturday, which is a listed 2-year-old race, and there's a horse running in there called Volpe Veloce. Volpe Veloce is a full sister to our Foxridge colt that we bought in Sydney, and she was going to run the stakes. She's had one start for a win where she absolutely bolted in, and she was going to run the stakes race a few weeks back, but she had a stone bruise, and they've kept her going for this. She looks very, very impressive. I think if the track is not the tracks, and my question mark is how wet a track she's going to handle. If she handles the track conditions, I think she'll win. So I don't know how wet she'll handle it. She probably wants it to come back into the slow region if she can. But if she handles the track, I think she'll just win. If it's wet, if it's heavy, I don't know. But I think she's very, very good. So watch her in the Castletown Stakes.
Here we go. I was just thinking the Gold Coast is going to be so warm, and I'm going to have to be walking to school and.
Well, no,
4 degree heat.
it's only meant to be 19, 20, 21, so it's not going to be, it's not going to be
Do you
that
know the
warm.
temperature that I walked to school in this morning?
7
Dad?
degrees. Yeah.
Doesn't seem like very cold, but when you are walking, it is cold.
All right, I think we better wrap this up.
Okay, we should. So we hope everyone has a great betting week. We hope Dad and everyone else has a great flight to Sydney.
Yeah, no, to the Gold Coast.
Knew that. Sorry.
And we'll be back in 2 weeks' time.
Cool. See you next
Okay.
week. See you in 2 weeks on Tube Talk.
Thanks.